What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? King Cold, welcome. Josh Super Duty, what's up, man? Roger Reed, what's up? What's up? What's up? King Cold, welcome. Josh Super Duty, what's up, man? Roger Reed, what's up? What's up? Well, guys, I let me mute myself because I can hear background here. It's a little delayed, so I apologize. But David, what's up, man? I just saw you jump in. Living life today and beyond. Welcome. So as you guys know, today we're gonna go through these questions. Let's see what we got. I have to share my screen. I'm doing this off of Zoom, so I can actually share my screen. I'm learning so much by doing all this. So let's see. I gotta share my desktop, and let's see. You guys should see these questions, but hope all is doing well. I'm not going to be able to see your comments here for a little bit because I'm going to share my screen, but let me stop sharing for a little bit until we get started. See y'all. Mickey Thomas, welcome. So Living Life, you just purchased a auxiliary fuel tank for your truck, 50 gallons with a toolbox. That's what's up. I like that. So right now, we are actually in North Dakota. And yeah, I kind of wish I had a 50-gallon tank now that you say that. But we are heading west. We're leaving here tomorrow. I don't even know where we are. Hold on, let me tell you guys where I'm at. I have no idea. We've been traveling so much. We are in Castleton, North Dakota. That's where we are right now. So we're going to probably go straight through North Dakota. The goal was to go to Glacier State Park in Montana, but it's still a little too cold. They have like temperatures down like in 30-degree weather. So I don't know if we can do that right now. But thank you guys for jumping in here. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and pull back up the questions. Like I said, I won't be able to see your chat for a little bit because I have to jump back over to the Zoom meeting. But like I said, once I'm done with that, I'll read through your comments again. But without further ado, so again, thank you guys for jumping in this past Friday and supporting this. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this for probably about a year, I would say. I've been thinking about doing something like this, and I just couldn't figure out a way to make it work. But now that I have more time on my hands because I'm unemployed, I was able to put this together pretty quickly. So I did 10 questions, and I'm actually surprised. These questions are really hard. I did not make this easy this go around, and I may not make it too easy because you guys did pretty good. But now I will say though, nobody got every single question correct. So I had to go to the first person who submitted their answer. So as I mentioned in the video, I was only going to choose the first 10 that submitted the questions because I couldn't go through everyone's questions, obviously. But let's go ahead and get to the first question. So the first question was, how many engine options does the 2019 Plus Ram 3500s have? Now, this question is pretty complex when you think about Ram because, as you know, they have the Cummins, the gas, and they do something a little different from GM and Ford. But A was number 2, B was 3, 5 for C, and 4 for D. Now, I was going to make this a trick question. So the answer for this one was actually B. Now, what I was going to do was I was going to say, including commercial trucks. Now, in the comment section, I'll go back through it in a second, but does the commercial Ram 3500, the cabin chassis is what I'm talking about, does it have a different engine option from what the consumer trucks have? I'll just put it that way. So in the comment section, is there 4 engine options if you include the commercial trucks? Because I was going to put that in there because I know that it would throw a few people off. So next question. Next question is, what year did Ford's Power Stroke surpass 1,000 pound-feet of torque? Now, this one was kind of easy because I felt like that was pretty big news for Ford because, you know, once Ram hit 1,000 pound-feet of torque, that should have kind of been a dead giveaway that D was not the answer. So the correct answer is 2020. So that's when Ford really, you know, came in swinging because not only did they announce that Power Stroke was going to surpass that 1,000 pound-feet of torque, they also brought out that 7.3 gas as well. So I think that Ford did a really good job. They actually refreshed the exterior really well. The truck looks a lot better. Or it just looks more refreshed. It doesn't look much different from what it did in the past. I still think the 2017 and 2018 look great, but and 2019 as well. But this question was probably pretty easy for a lot of the Ford guys. Now, the next question, when did GM offer the 10-speed for the 6.6-liter gas engine? This was 100% a trick question. And I know a few guys probably laughed when I did this question because I might have triggered a couple guys. But nevertheless, 2020 was A, 2022 was B, 2021 was C, and never was D. So as you would expect, on the GM side of the house, and actually I did say that this test or this game was for HD trucks, so I did not put GM HD offer, but for this is obviously for the HDs. So the 10-speed was never available for the 6.6-liter gas, and there's no 6.6 for the half ton. So the answer for this one was 100% D, never. So right now, GM only offers the 6-speed that they've had for a long time. I can't even remember when they unveiled that transmission, but it's been out for a long time. Two guys on my channel, like Matthew Anderson, he's pretty much in almost every comment on every video I do. He did mention to me because I was kind of going after GM for not offering an option for the 10-speed, and he's mentioned that 6-speed is very reliable. And I think Rick West, you said something to that extent too, that, you know, them bring out a brand new gas engine, they want to try to keep it as reliable as possible. So that's the good thing, I guess. If you look at the whole perspective, the 10-speed in the Fords and in the GM trucks right now are still new and they're not proven yet. So as time goes, we'll see how well they get. But the next question, number 4, this is a true or false. Ram does not offer a 410 for the Ram Diesel HD single rear wheel. True or false? Now, before I show you the answer to this one, I've made a lot of complaints about this. So the answer for this is true. You cannot get a 410 with a Ram Diesel single rear wheel. Unfortunately, I don't know why Ram does it that way, but the 410 does give you max tow. So I figure, you know, Ram felt like, you know, with the amount of power that the Ram has, there's no need for them to give a higher axle ratio for the diesel side of the house. But if you do get a dually, you do have that option to get a 410. So the next question is true or false as well. The Ford F-350 Trimmer 7.3-liter V8 only comes standard with a 410 rear axle ratio. True or false? This was also a trick question because if you know Ford, you know that there's no 410, so the answer for this one was obviously false. So if you do get a trimmer, it does come with a 430 standard with the trimmer, so in a 7.3-liter engine. Can't get that 430 with a Power Stroke, unfortunately. But this was actually a pretty good question. I actually had to just check this answer for myself because I knew that it wasn't a 410. That's why I used that 410, because I wanted to throw some guys off, number one. But number two, it was kind of a trick question there. So I thought this would be kind of cool. But yeah, you cannot get a 410 at all with the Ford because they only go to a 430 axle ratio for the single rear wheels. So the next question was also going to be a true or false for the GM side of the house. GM doesn't offer any other axle ratio for the Duramax equipped trucks. Now this one probably was hard for most people because you would expect there to be a diesel option, but I mean you would expect there to be a higher actuation ratio for a diesel option, especially for like a dually truck. So I did not specify if it's going to be dually or single rear wheel, but the answer is true. They do not offer another ax ratio for the Duramax. It only comes standard with the 342. And I've said this in a few videos. The first gear on the GM side of the house, that 10-speed is pretty robust. I mean, it has some low end torque there. So yeah, this setup is really good, and they don't really need to have a higher ax ratio out back numerically. So this is something that I didn't understand at first too. You know, why didn't they offer a higher ax ratio? But when I looked at the gear ratios, it made a lot of sense at that point. I want to say that the first gear is like a 4 something. Like, I don't know, it's pretty high. I think it's like 490 something maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's pretty deep. And this is also a trick question. What shocks does the Ram 2500 use for the off-road package? My son actually helped me with this because he was supposed to be sleeping, but he came out and wanted to answer this question. So it was a Bilstein, and then again, this was a trick question. Part of it was Bilstein, and then BF Goodrich, and then Made in House was D. So right out of the gate, BF Goodrich only makes tires. So this was a trick question. So BF Goodrich only makes tires, and Bilstein is a suspension manufacturer that Ram does use. So I spelled it wrong on B again to try to throw people off, because this was kind of an easy question, more or less. So the answer was A for this one. And next question, can you get any Ford HD with the 6.2 liter and 10-speed transmission combo? This was another hard one. I know that a lot of people don't see this truck often. So thinking about which truck has this option, or if it does at all, I knew it would be hard for people to answer. So can you get a 6.2 liter and 10-speed transmission combo? And the correct answer is yes. Only available with the Ford F350. You cannot get that any other way. So if you get a higher trim level, you cannot get a 6.2 liter and 10-speed combo. So you only get with the F350. You cannot get that combo with the F250. All right. And moving on down, the ninth question was, what is GM's horsepower and torque numbers for the 6.6 liter gas V8? This is when you had to really look at the numbers, because I felt like this would throw people off again. So the question, or the answer, was going to be B, 401 horsepower and 464 pound-feet of torque. Back in the day, I did a review on a GM truck, and I actually said the numbers backwards. I said that it had 464 horsepower. And I don't know if you guys know this, I get nervous on camera. I still do. I do not like being on camera if I don't have to be. So sometimes, like, my wife has offered, hey, you want me to do this video record you while you do this video? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just want to be behind the camera. So this is something that I have to get used to. And sometimes I say things wrong sometimes because I get nervous. But nevertheless, the last question, I think everybody should have gotten this one correctly. This one was pretty easy in my book. But if you obviously don't know HD trucks, then I understand that. But which manufacturer offers air suspension for the rear? Is it Ram HDs, Ford HDs? Is it GM HDs? That's GMC and Chevrolet. Or is it all the above? As you would expect, the answer is Ram HDs, which is A. So who won the competition? I did throw out a spreadsheet here. Like I said, I was only going to pick the first 10 comments that were submitted. So starting off with some more RV on the left side there. I can't show you my mouse for some reason, so you have to just kind of follow me here. So some more RV was the first person to submit, aka Ryan. If you haven't, go check out his channel, subscribe to him. He does have a Ford F350 with a 7.3 liter. He does travel full time. I know he's been really quiet on there because I know he's been really busy, and he's been selling houses, all that stuff. So I understand that lifestyle. So he was the first one. Lucas was the second, and Sean was the third. Now I have his name highlighted because he was the one that won. Because out of some more got 8 out of 10 right. If you see where it says correct, on the far left is the answers. These are all the correct answers. And on the very bottom of the answers is the correct the amount that they got correct at the bottom here. So Samora RV got 8 correct. Lucas Davis got 6 correct. Sean Kurtz had 9 correct. Matthew Anderson, Anthony, and Lesko Brandon all got 9. Actually, excuse me, and Support of Sanity, special shout out to him too. Yeah, they all got 9 correct. So had you guys had submitted it before Sean, you would have won as well. But Sean did win it. And I was going to do a $50 Amazon gift card, but I figured this is the first one. I'm going to do a $100 gift card for you for coming in first place. Thank you guys again, all you guys that came out, showed out to participate in this too. So let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. All right. And I'm going to go back to YouTube so I can go through your comments. I want to see what you guys are saying here now. Let's see. All righty. So, yeah. So, Josh, you said get the RDS toolbox and fuel. I guess that's the fuel tank with the toolbox. I will say I have thought about getting a 50-gallon fuel tank. When we were in Indiana, I did a lot of work to our RV. I was going to actually do the Monster intake on my Ram when we were there, but that sucker looked like a lot of work, and I didn't have a garage, and it was going to be 90 degrees every day, and I know I get frustrated really easy. But right now, I don't really need a large fuel tank, only because we're only traveling probably 3 to 5 hours a day. So I don't think we're going to really be in a point where we need to have a 50-gallon tank. Now, if it was just me and my wife, we didn't have kids, I would need that 50-gallon fuel tank, because I know that she and I can travel for, hours upon hours, but I don't want to put my kids through that. So we try to keep it to about 5 hours a day. So that's the only reason why I have not upgraded to a 50-gallon fuel tank on my truck. And David Brown, you said Glacier is awesome. Yes, I saw some pictures. Actually, at a campground we were at, a lady told me if you're going to go west, you have to stop in Glacier. So that's why we actually put that on our map to visit, because we figured, it'd be a good place. And she says it's a little bit colder there too. So living life today and beyond, number 3, is 2018. Yep. Actually, what was that question again? Living life today, you said that. Number 3. Actually, I'm not understanding what you might have said there. But let's see here. So yeah, David, you said make sure you go to Glacier, awesome park, and the Flathead Valley is beautiful. Good. Yeah, I did see some pictures online that how beautiful Montana in general is a beautiful state. I don't know, maybe I might move to Montana, buy some land or something like that. Let's see here, Matthew Anderson, what's up, buddy? Welcome, 2007 model year. There you go. So the 6-speed transmission came in 2007, as Matthew Anderson said. So it's 6L90. And then Sean Kurtz, what's up, Sean? Hey, congratulations, by the way. You were the winner, by the way. And then Josh Super Duty, only 355 or 410 for Ford. Matthew Anderson, diesel GMs now with a 10-speed start in second gear unless you are in tow haul mode. That's really good information. I've said this in the past. One thing I like about my channel is you guys. Like, you guys have some really good information. You guys always give me some good stuff to go off of. And sometimes I even create my videos around some of your comments too. So thanks for sharing that too. So if you're not in tow haul mode, the GM does start in second gear. So if you're racing a Ford guy, you better be in tow haul mode. And then Haha Adventure says, what's up? What's up, brother? And then 1-2, you think about deleting your comments? Yes, I have definitely thought about deleting my comments. I was going to start with the Monster intake and then move on down the line. Originally, I expected Ram to redesign this truck probably by 2023. And I don't think they're going to do that. I think that they're probably going to wait another year or two. They're probably going to do another refresh, and then they'll probably at some point, maybe later in the 2020s, maybe do a full redesign. But I don't see them doing that. And I waited this long not to delete it so I could get the new truck because I didn't want to have to deal with it. But I don't think I'm going to delete it at this point either. I figure I should have did it when I first got it, like I thought I was going to do, if I kept it. But I knew I was going to get a new truck, and I didn't see the need to do it. But moving on down, King Code, JB, there's a video of the 2020 Super Duty on the side of the road. Really? Huh. The 2023? Oh, I see what you're saying. So yeah, I think I did see where Ford is doing a full redesign on the HDs. I haven't really gotten a chance to really think about doing the videos on that, but that's probably something I'll have to look into at some point. Getting some research on it and maybe putting a video out there for you guys. Thanks for sharing that. And then Josh Super Duty says, JB, does Hannah want a Ford F-350 Trimmer or a Ford F-350 Dually? So if Hannah were to get a truck, I think that she would not. I think that with us full timing, she did like the Ford F-350 Ride Unloaded. She felt like it did handle really well, but I don't think she would drive a truck as a personal vehicle for the most part. I think that she would prefer having a car or like a smaller SUV. And then just Nick M, I got a Ram 22 Bighorn Quad 54K loaded level 2. Nice, congrats, buddy. Congrats. Yeah, something I've been noticing out here, I do not see a lot of trucks for sale that are brand new. Most of the trucks in the lot today are either used or they're already pre-sold because someone ordered it a few months back or 6 months back or even a year ago. But for the most part, it's been really barren out here. That's why you haven't seen a lot of reviews. And I don't tell you guys this all the time, but a lot of my videos are a couple months behind for the most part. When we left Maryland, I probably got maybe 7 or 8 videos a day. And I was only probably posting maybe 2 or 3 videos a week at that time. And when we left, I started posting every day. So yeah, I'm typically delayed at least by a couple weeks. Sometimes I will put videos, in line, like I'll skip them up in line or something like that. But for the most part, my videos are typically delayed at least by a week. But what else is going on? Josh Super Duty said, JB, what is your favorite HD truck? So let's pretend I don't have a Ram HD, because if I answer that question based off of my truck, I would say Ram HD. But if I didn't have a truck right now, if I was new to truck buying, I've driven the 7.3 Ford, I've driven just about every HD combination so far. But if I had to pick my favorite truck, I would say that it would be between a 5.9 24 valve Cummins and a 7.3 Ford F-350. Those are probably my favorite trucks because I've had friends who've had them. We actually had a family member, my wife's father-in-law. My father-in-law, I should say, had one actually, and for the most part, he loved it. I mean, he had minor things go wrong with it, but when you think about it being a 20-year-old truck, that's not bad. So I would say the Ford 7.3 and the 5.9 Cummins are probably my best or my favorite trucks. And if I were to pick a truck today, to answer your question, if I were to buy a truck right now, what would I get? I probably would get a Ford F-350 Trimmer with a 6.7 power stroke. And I'd probably keep it for at least a year. Now, I would not sell my Ram, but if I were buying a truck right now, because I've already had the Ram, I probably would try out a Ford F-350 Trimmer. Just to say I have one, because I've always wanted to do some long-term testing with it. A lot of people say that Rams are the best. A lot of people say Fords are the best, but you don't ever really know until you actually own it. So I could never really tell you which is the best truck. So when people ask me that question, I would say Ram because that's what I've owned. Ram HD plant. This is Josh Super Duty. Ram HD plant is in Saltillo, Mexico. GM HD plant is in Flint. And then HD and Ford Super Duty plant is in Louisville, Kentucky. Got you. So I see what you're trying to do there. You're saying that Ram is still building theirs out of the country, huh? Or out of the states, I should say. Yeah, that's good stuff. And then Matthew Edison, do you still have the 28-foot race trailer? I do still have my 28-foot race trailer. It's actually sitting somewhere in Florida, my friend, when I had the Audi R8 and the Dodge Charger, one of my friends, he has a McLaren 720S, and he used it to tow his car down to Florida. And he kept asking me, do I still want the trailer back up in Maryland? I said no, because it's actually staying somewhere for free. So I figured it could just stay there. So I still own it. I've thought about selling it, but I mean, I tried to sell it. I did try to sell it, but I couldn't get what I wanted for it. So I figured I could keep it. And then BB, he says, sad, I just sold my 2002 24 valve for a new 20. Oh, man. Oh, wow. You had 2002. That's awesome. How many miles are on it? If you can put it in the comment section. And then Just Nick M says, I went to Ram from GMC, and if you don't mix it up, you never know what you like more. True. I agree with that. It really goes down to what you like better. When you sit inside of a car, you don't really, I don't know why we get so brand loyal. I don't understand that aspect. I'm trying to get out of it myself. I did it too, so I'm guilty of it as well. But when you think about test driving a car, I understand there's guys who just love what they like. If you like a Ford truck, 100%, I don't blame you. I would 100%, go after what you love. But I would at least test every one I could, because after driving Ford and GM and Ram trucks, like, I really do see the value in all three. The only reason why I do like the Ram is because of the inline six Cummins. I wish that Ford and GM would get away from the V8 designs. I mean, it's nothing against it. It's just I like the simplicity of the Cummins. It's just a little bit more simplistic compared to the V8 design. And let's see here. So David Brown, he says, I looked at the F-350 trimmer, King Ranch. It was beautiful, but Ford was way too proud of that truck for me. It was another $6K over my limited Ram that I ordered with almost everything. Yeah. So Ford dealers do not typically like to negotiate off of HD. They want all the money for them. I've witnessed that too. My friend has at one store in Maryland that I could buy from, and they said they would sell me a truck at invoice. So I would definitely do that. And I don't know if I read your comment yet. Let's see here. King Code depends on if you're towing over 30K gross combined weight rating. Get a Ram 5500. No, I agree 100%. If you're towing crazy numbers like that, 25,000 plus, you probably really should start looking at a cabin chassis truck. And I don't know if you guys saw the video I did. I did a video with Lux, the RV manufacturer, and that's what they use to tow their big fifth wheels. Like their RVs typically have anywhere between 4,500 and 5,000 pounds of pin weight. And when you think about the GVWR on a 5,500, it's 19.5. Once you add the bed, I think he said that you still had about 8,500 pounds of payload capacity. So yeah, that's a good thing to think about when you're looking at big trailers like that. And then BB, you said 180K, you sold it for 25,000. So you sold a 2002 24 valve for 25,000. No, see, I couldn't afford that truck. That's a lot of money. Wow, that's good. Good job, man. You basically got what you paid for it when it was brand new. And then Matthew Anderson, you said Ford diesels engines are made in Mexico. Oh, there you go. Shots fired, Josh. Shots fired from Matthew Anderson. Thank you, Austin. Cool guy. I appreciate that. And then Josh, Cummins are inline six versus Duramax V8 and Powerstroke V8. Yep. And then let's see. Josh said at Matthew Anderson, the 6.7 Scorpion. Matthew Anderson, as far as I know, yes, it's made in Mexico. And then Josh says, I'll buy Union Made and support America. Yeah, hey, listen, I respect that. What's up, Big Bad? Hello. Hello to you too, brother. But yeah, I respect that. I mean, hey, we have to have some kind of pride for our country. I feel like I don't want to get too political because people get scared these days when we get political. But I have a pride about where I live. I want to support our country. I think that we still have the greatest country, in my opinion. I mean, I think really North America is a great continent in general, and it's good to support your people. It's good to support one another. I do like that. You still kind of see that today. So yeah, I respect that. Thanks, Josh. Anything else? Anything else? Anyone else out there? But yeah, Sean, you won. So I got to get your email. And then BB says, this is why you buy a diesel, not a gasser. No way a 2002 gasser sells for 25K. I agree with you, buddy. I agree with that 100%. Good point. So really quickly, in the comment section, I want to hear your thoughts. Despite diesel being as expensive as it is, why should you overlook the diesel? Oh, excuse me. Why should you not overlook the diesel? Excuse me, and buy gas? So based off of diesel prices being what they are, why should you still not overlook the diesel? And then let's see here. Josh Super Duty says, "When the next quiz." I don't know. I'm glad you asked that question because I'm thinking about changing the platform how I do it. I'm thinking about making it more superficial, I guess. So I'm probably going to use an app that way you guys can log in because right now if I do it in the same platform, I'll have to just do the first 10 that submit their answers versus you have to get there early and then you can play. You guys basically can play against each other and then there's a scoreboard basically. I want to do it that way, but I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more. But yeah, I'll definitely give you guys a week advance notice before I do another quiz. I won't do a day, because now I have a good feeling on how I want to do it. So good question there. Walter, what's up, man? Nothing, man. We're out here in North Dakota, by the way. Since you just got in here. Hey, Sean, thank you. Yeah, send me a message. Actually, yeah, that's good. Yeah, send me a message on Instagram. That'd be great. And then we could set up payment for that. So $100 Amazon gift card coming your way. And then King Code, Ram and Ford is the best when it comes to the 1,000+ pound-feet of torque. And GMC is amazing when they finally put the DEF next to the diesel. Yep. They actually started doing the EF next to, I think they did that in 2020, I believe, for the diesels. And then Matthew Anderson, pro for diesel is ease of use. You can set cruise and forget it. Downside is the emissions BS, 100%. Josh, you said diesels are used for towing, fuel economy, etc. The only downside is the darn DEF. See, when we talk about politics, let's get on the soapbox for a second. Just for a second. I wish that somebody would have really blocked the emissions on the diesels because like you guys are saying, everyone is saying the exact same thing. The DEF, the SCR, the urea, all this stuff, it just does not make any sense. And one thing I don't like about it personally is when you go into region. That is why I don't understand why someone did not fight this when they were, passing these restrictions on diesels and requiring them to have more emissions. I don't think it was a good idea. Diesels are more unreliable. They're a lot more expensive. And, the King Code's comment, the reason why these trucks have so much power is because they need it, because of all the emissions stuff on them. I mean, I don't think these trucks would have the kind of power they have today if they didn't have all this emission stuff on them. I think that this is their way of trying to keep selling trucks. And then, so Fokker, who won? I know I was a little late. So Sean Kurtz was the winner. He actually was the first. He actually had 9 out of 10 correct, but he was one of the first ones to submit his answer. So yes. So Sean Kurtz, a special shout out to you too. So he did just buy a Halo truck. So I'm telling you guys, I know I've been on this tick with gas trucks, and the reason why I asked that question is because the downsides to the diesel is why a lot of people should be looking at gas trucks. Don't buy a gas truck because diesel is more expensive. Buy a gas truck if you don't drive your truck a lot. So he bought a Ram 30. He just got a Ram 3500 Mega Cab with a Hemi with the 410, which gives it max tow. And I think it's a really good truck. I think if I were building that truck, the way he built it was perfect. I might even do a video on it. But it's a Laramie package, and I really think that is a perfect truck if you are looking to buy an HD. If you're looking to order and you don't want to, what the heck is this? Hold on here. Let me delete this. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know how that got in there. Wow. Move. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know how that got in here. I don't understand. But yeah, just to kind of end off there. Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. That pissed me off just now. But yeah, what Sean was saying was the main reason I went Hemi. I run too many short trips, and diesels like to be hot due to emissions. Gas will do me just fine. Yep, and that's why I asked that question. What were the reasons why you should buy a diesel over a gas? And this is why you should buy a gas over a diesel. A lot of guys don't really need a diesel, especially if you're only towing a few thousand miles a year. You're not going far, or you're not going up steep grades. And even if you are, I find that the 7.3 gasser in the 6.4 Hemi and the 6.6 in the GM trucks is adequate. I think Matthew Anderson, you tow pretty far, and like you just said in your comment there, you said when I had my Duramax, it would absolutely suck fuel doing a regen, and it regen once a fuel tank. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's just stupid. It really doesn't help any, in my opinion. So Josh Super Duty says, "Hey everyone, the worst diesel ever is the PACCAR MX-13 due to emissions and DEF problems. I didn't know that." And then Jim Brand, what's up, man? Nothing against diesel, but I bought a Ram 2500 gasser because I only get to take out my physical once a year. See, again, yeah, this right here is that is the reason why I've been doing a lot of gas truck reviews, because you really have to look at it with a different perspective. I think that I'm a diesel fanboy. Like, I don't think I would ever buy a gas truck unless it was just for testing purposes. But because we do, tow this thing full time, like I think I've already towed this thing almost 10,000 miles this year. When I think my truck has 34,000, 35,000 miles on it, and I've probably towed at least 18,000 miles of that. So for me, in the 3 years I've had my truck, I feel as though I tow a lot. So I don't want to, gas truck because of that. But one of my fellow YouTubers, some more RV, he has that Ford F-350 with the 7.3. He's traveling full time as well. So, but yeah, Fokker, yeah, I know, scammers. I try to delete those comments as much as they come in there. I apologize for you guys having to see that. King Code, you said gas HT is amazing for payload and when you own a small business, 100%. Yeah, you get a lower GWR to go along with that too. So, and you don't give up so much payload because of it. Good stuff. And then Fokker, the new 7.3 Godzilla will with a long bed and the 50-gallon tank is what we all need. Yeah. I don't understand why truck manufacturers don't make an optional fuel tank at least 40 gallons. Like, I think GM does it the best. You get a 36-gallon fuel tank, whether you get a gas or diesel truck, standard. That's pretty big, actually. 36 gallons is decent. But I think a 50 gallon should be optional for every HD truck. Some of the half tons have bigger fuel tanks than HDs, which doesn't make any sense. But let's see here. Fokker, you said I have a 16 614 Hemi, around 84K miles, and it tows daily for my business. That's awesome. Let me know what you're towing there too. And then Not Me says I have a 2021 3500 HD regular cab. Wow, that's a halo. Dually 4x4 with a 6.6 gas. That's awesome, man. Custom ordered it just like I wanted it. To me, it doesn't get any better. Not me, 100%. That's fact right there. That's a nice truck actually. And then Matthew Anderson, you said 10.4 to 10.8 towing my trailer. Same trip with the new gas truck, 8.5 to about 8.6. So you didn't drop off that much. You had the Duramax diesel, and then you got the 6.6 liter gas from GM. That's not too far off though. That's really good. And then Josh, you said diesel is less flammable and burns less. Plus diesel flash point is 55 degrees plus. Wow, good stuff. That's good. That's good information there, because I don't know a lot of that type of information, so that's good. Rick Morris, I wish my F-250 had a 48-gallon tank. I get 9 MPG pulling my fiber. Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. If you get a long bed 40, they do come standard with a 48-gallon tank. And I guess that's something I need to get get out of too is getting these short bed trucks. If you get a long bed Ram, you get a 50-gallon option, and with the Ford, they give you a 48-gallon tank. That is true. I forgot about that. Fokker 80, I wish Ram would have a 50-gallon tank on the Ram 2564 Hemis. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Especially, any truck that has a fifth wheel prep package, I feel like they should have a 50-gallon tank option. And then let's see here. Fokker 80 says a single car trailer and a 2-car trailer. Nice. That's good. And then Chris, he says I have a 40-gallon on my F450 and look to push to push that to the 68. Yeah, 68 gallons. I mean, sheesh. I mean, it's gonna cost a lot to fill it up, but man, you're gonna be, if you're on those long stretch of roads where there's not a lot of fuel stations, you don't have to worry about it. That's good. Rick Morris, I also wish I had the 430 gear too. Okay. Yeah, the 430. I know you can get that on the gas side of the house, which is good. And I mean, there's a lot of. I know that Matthew Anderson, he mentions this a lot, and he says that because of how deep the gears are on the Ford F250 10-speed and F350 10-speed, you don't really need that 430. And I guess I see your point. I try to not agree with you because we're supposed to be enemies because you like Chevy and I like Ram. I'm just kidding. But I do see his point. I think when you think about normally when you're going to grade, you're going to drop down probably to about third or fourth gear anyway. So you still have a good amount of, torque in those gears that you really don't need the 430 unless you're towing heavy. Obviously, if you're towing closer to max, then yeah, you're probably going to want to make sure you have that 430. But if you're towing 10,000 pounds, I think the 373 is fine. I think that's a good aspect of it. And then I'm gonna read a couple more here, and then I'm gonna let you guys get back to your lives here. Let's see. So Parker says my Hemi has the 410. Oh yeah, that's max tow. And then he says the 25-gallon tank sucks. Wow, 25-gallon tank, that's too small. Mine is a 31-gallon. I think that if you get a long bed, it goes to a 32-gallon. And then Chris, the best thing is if you're running a diesel, if they get a fuel card. True. I do have a fuel card. I actually just got one for Loves. So yeah, I definitely I do recommend that as well if you're traveling as much as I'm doing right now. Yeah, gas is expensive right now. I mean, when we were just in, where were we at? We were in Minnesota. We were in Minnesota. Minnesota had the cheapest diesel so far. It was at $5.35, and I was like so happy. I'm like, why am I happy that diesel is $5.35? Crazy times. And then Matthew Anderson, he says that's the purpose of the 10 speeds, bigger gear spread, so you can run a taller gear. 100%. And then BB, last comment here. Diesel doesn't need super low gears. Torque, baby. Yep, that's true. It has torque for days. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for jumping on this. Like I said, I looking forward to where this goes. If you guys do like the game show, I am going to do a poll to hear you guys' thoughts, to see what you think. But thank you again for jumping on here. And yeah, I'm going to put this on the channel, so if you want to watch it again, feel free. See you guys.